Hey guys, I really want to go home.
Not until we find Michael.
Come on, man.
My patient. He's been my patient for many years. Okay, we're looking for him because he's never been out on Halloween before, not in 40 years.
Well, it's your job to make sure he doesn't get out.
Yes, but I want to see it now that he's out. We're looking for him. We're gonna find him. We're gonna see what he does. We're gonna see what really gets him going. I'm really excited about it.
I don't think that's a very good idea, Dr. Sardine.
It's not sardine.
Yes, it
It
is.
is sardine. Why does people call me sardine all the time? This is sardine. It's sardine. S-A-R-dane. That's what it is. Come on.
Like, do you like that better than pervert?
Pervert?
Yeah.
Who's the pervert
Look
here?
at
We're
your
looking
mustache.
for. Yeah, well, my mustache is good. This is very good
Why is it
mustache.
blonde and your hair's black?
No. Yeah, well, because it's just for men is why.
Okay, you want to know the truth?
People like the black hair, I think. We're looking for Nikon, okay?
Well, hold on, man. We can get to Michael in a little bit. I think I have a pretty good idea where he is, but like, I just want to address the sardine situation because your breath smells like sardines.
It does not smell like sardines.
Yes, it does.
It smells like saltines because I eat freaking Vienna sausages
Yeah.
with saltine crackers.
Yeah,
That's
There he
what
is right there. Let's go.
No, don't hit him!
Oh my gosh! What did you do?
This is my patient.
I'm gonna go kill his ass. Make sure the job is done.
Now, hold on a second. No, that's my patient.
I don't care.
No.
Guys, we don't have to do this.
No, don't do
God,
this.
no! I really want that taco triple deluxe supreme.
I'm gonna finish this thing.
That's my patient.
I don't care. It has to be done.
No,
Finally.
it does not.
Yes,
That's
it
my
does.
patient. No, you're not gonna do it. You're
Has
not gonna
to.
do it.
What? Oh my God! What the hell? Wait a minute! What the hell? What's he doing? No! No! No, Dr. Sardine! What are you doing? No! Don't do this! Why are you doing this?
Make room for my patient.
No, don't put him in here. That's a bad idea. No! Get me out of here. I don't want to be back here with this thing. No, let me out. Let me out.
Dust up. Oh shit!
Oh my God, Dr. Sardine, he's alive. He's alive. What? No. Oh, hell. No. Dr. Sardine. Dr. Sardine, where are you going? No. 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 Oh, shit.
What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Real Hunting. We're in for the good reels, so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad, the Brett Man's right over there, and welcome back to the freaking HalloScream Review Series, man. What is HalloScream, man? That's going to be, we're doing that, a Halloween review each and every Monday until the release of Halloween ends, which is only at this point 2 weeks away, Brett, man. We got this, and we got Halloween Kills, and we're going to be there, man, and we're stoked about it. Check out all these other lovely reviews today, too, from our friends in the description below, and check out Chris Snyder's Letterboxd review as well, man. And, man, we've made it to the new trilogy, man.
Oh man, I am excited to get into this because I have a lot to say about it, a lot of positives and some negatives. So I'm really looking forward to it, man. And we're just counting down to the wire, man. October the 13th is just around the corner.
Yeah, man, it's bittersweet, man, because I've just been so. This has been such a fun time, but it's coming to an end, and I'm kind of sad about it. But that's okay. There'll be plenty more Halloween content we're gonna do over the years and to come and whatnot. Regardless of what movies are coming out, we're still gonna be rocking and rolling with it.
Absolutely. And just a quick note, when Halloween Ends does come out, we will be doing it from the 13th all the way to the kind of like the 23rd. That's when you can expect all the channels to drop in their Halloween Ends content. It's just not for one particular day. It's just around that time. It all just depends on when everybody gets to see Halloween Ends. So pay close attention to that. We'll go into more detail in that for Halloween Kills next week.
Right, you are. And of course, we'll be ranking the franchise after that as well. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yes, sir, it is. So without further ado, you want to get into the freaking movie facts?
We better. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Let me get a deep breath here. Man, my throat's getting sore for doing all these. But here we go. Halloween came out on October 19th of 2018, and this is Halloween 2018, that is. And IMDb gave it a 6.5 out of 10. 3.3 out of 5 on Letterboxd, where most of the folks come in at 3 out of 5. The tomato meter, 79%. That is certified fresh. And the audience score of 71%. A budget of $10 million. And here's the kicker, my friend. The box office, $159 million. And global is $256 million. Just stabbing all kinds of records there. And it's directed by David Gordon Green, with the cast of the returning of Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, the introduction to Andy Matichak, Judy Greer, and Will Patton.
Hell yeah, man. Racking stacks. Obviously, right after this movie came out, they announced this 2 sequels. They didn't even say, oh, we're going to do 1. No, we're going to go ahead and do 2 sequels. Let's plan ahead. Let's do that for sure. So it's not a hard stretch to see why they did that. But I remember, man, when this movie was announced, again, the numbers here all look good. This is the best. This is the highest rated on the tomato meter. Both scores, I believe, since the original. So that's big. And they're deservingly so, man. I think it's the one that's treated the most seriously since then. Save for maybe the Rob Zombie ones and the original sequel. But yeah, man, just freaking racking stacks, man. And I remember when they announced this thing, obviously after Halloween, the Rob Zombie movies came out, the franchise was dead for a while. That sequel came out in 2002 or 2009, sorry. They talked about doing a third one in that timeline. Halloween 3D. They talked about doing Halloween Returns at one point, which was kind of an interesting concept, but they didn't do it. And then they said, wait a minute, man. We got a script. We got Johnny Boy Carpenter in to produce, to do the music and all that kind of fun stuff. Like, let's take things seriously. They went out and got Jamie Lee Curtis back, and they're like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go ahead and erase everything after that first movie and go right back to that, original timeline. And that's what they did. And really nothing had been done before that, I don't think, where they just erased the whole timeline, multiple timelines in the franchise and made a direct sequel to the first one, at least not to this scale, which I know was kind of a risky move, but I think it was necessary. And this movie had a lot of excitement building up for it, at least for me, and in general, as you saw from the box office numbers.
Oh, dude, absolutely agree with you. We were just at the point of the franchise. It's time to do something different, and just to start another timeline, fulfills that need. And we'll go into like this review, talking about what we liked about the story, like going into like to kick everything off, and plus just to play off from the timeline of the original. You're going to get a lot of the hardcore fans' attention with this new trilogy for sure. So Brad, want to do the Michael Myers card?
Yes. And a big thing they did, as far as they brought us to that new timeline. They also Laurie and Michael are no longer brother and sisters in this, which was big. So I just, that kind of built into the excitement, opened up new ground to explore in the movie. But yeah, let's go ahead and whip that up, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you are absolutely okay. So here we go, the Michael Myers card from Halloween 2018 with a newcomer of the actor of James Jude Courtney, and also reprising his role in a little cameo is our boy Nick Castle. We got 15 kills, and how did he kill his victims in this movie? With his hands, a hammer, a butcher knife, a gate, a foot, a pen, flashlight, and a chain.
That's a freaking good repertoire, if you ask me, man. Absolutely crushing it. And man, Michael is brutal here, man.
Oh my gosh, dude, so damn brutal. We're definitely going to get to all this and what we think about James Jude Courtney's portrayal as the Shape, aka Michael Myers, man. But dude, yeah, very good weapon arsenal in this. Yeah, and the way he uses a lot of these weapons, absolutely brutal and spectacular.
You thought him being in the 60s was going to slow him down? Not a chance, dude. He's that freaking more brutal than ever.
Dude, more brutal than ever, indeed. So, right before we freaking dive into this, we're going to tell you how this works. If you're new to Good Will Hunting on the HalloScream Review Series, we are going to talk about this movie from beginning to end, chronological order, to the best of our ability. We're going to say what we like about some things, what we dislike about some things. And then after that, we're going to give you all our WTF moment and our best kill, a quick overall thoughts on the movie, and we're going to rate this bad boy.
Hell yeah, we are. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So, Brad, start us off.
First thing I got to say right out the bat, I hate the title for this movie. We're just going to go ahead and say that right out the just Halloween. You're going to make it the third time in the franchise the movie's going to be called Halloween. That's not confusing at all. Actually, it is. It's very confusing. It can be for certain people. And I don't like that. But anyway, that alone. We get in, like I said, we set it up already. It's a direct sequel to Halloween 1978. We're going right back to that. So that's kind of the setup. We open this thing right out the freaking gate, while the Universal logo's still up there floating around, and the Blumhouse logos. We're getting this amazing John Carpenter score, man. We're getting this freaking score from our boy Johnny Boy, man. And it's it's captivating from the get-go before the movie even starts. And then we go to Smith's Grove, where we see a couple podcasters trying to talk to Michael about, his freaking shit that happened 40 years ago. This is 40 years later, like you were saying there. And, we see just kind of them hanging out in this Smith's Grove area here, trying to, they're about to go see Michael.
Oh yeah, dude. Again, we get our introduction to our bard, Dr. Sardine. Damn it, wrong character. It is Dr. Sartain, and it got me worried. I'll be honest, it got me worried for a little bit when they introduced Dr. Sartain, because of the fact that, oh boy, here we go. They're trying to make him a freaking Dr. Loomis, or just kind of like a replacement of Dr. Loomis, and that's a very sensitive subject for Halloween fans. But I'll get to more him later. I thought he was okay, but he did his job for what he was doing in this movie. But man, once we get to that freaking outside area, dude, all my worries about this particular movie of Halloween 2018 just flew right out the door. And I'm like, okay, we got people who possibly understand what Halloween is all about, and it's all thanks to this opening scene.
Yeah, dude. And Sartain even says in this opening little bit that he studied under Loomis. He worked under Loomis for a while until he died, and then he kind of took over as Michael's doctor or whatever. So that's kind of cool, tying directly to Loomis and kind of taking over that role as well. But yeah, they go outside together. The podcasters are Aaron and Dana. It's like a couple that they go out and do these true crime podcasts. They go out into this little exercise field where all the the patients there are out, that's where they hang out during the day to catch some rays or whatever they want to do, but they're all chained up to the to the ground, which is like a checkerboard, or shall I say chessboard, because Michael's playing chess. He ain't playing checkers. And he's out there, and with our first look at Michael, he's way down on the other side of this field, or this this yard or whatever, this checkerboard freaking recess area rather, and he's looking away. And I thought that was a great introduction to Michael after 40 years. You can see he's got the white hair now and stuff, but he's just kind of standing there. He's doing absolutely nothing but just standing there, kind of just imagining himself for a second, getting out and what he would do, I guess, or whatever it is that he thinks about, if there's anything at all. But you could definitely tell that he's looking at the wall, not seeing the wall, looking beyond the wall, looking past the wall right there at that point. Good introduction to him, though. Really tense. This whole thing sets up. Aaron and Dana walk up super close to him, to where the lines are at, where the squares are at. And, they're trying to get him to speak. They whip out the mask, which was a big moment. It was really, pretty epic, where Aaron's like, hey, man, I got a buddy at the DA's office. He let me borrow this, which is all deteriorated now, which is the introduction to the mask in the movie, too, which is big because the masks have sucked ass ever since the original movie, for the most part, at least 9 out of 10. So it was nice to, kind of see that come out and whatnot. And this whole scene just plays out. It's really a tense moment, way more tense than it should be. because they really play on the music, the score is really effective, and the environment around them, and all the other patients kind of getting involved and get amped up when Aaron's trying to get Michael to say something, and that crescendo is happening. It's rising in tension and tension and tension, and then it just freaking explodes, man. And then we cut into the intro, and it's pretty freaking epic.
Say something.
Yeah.
Oh man,
And
dude,
it's
it's so great.
Yeah, and the original theme, in all of its glory, just freaking blast full volume, and I love it, dude. It's a very effective opening.
Oh, dude, so damn effective. It's just very eerie. So that's why I was so excited to continue on with this movie because, like, again, I think we have a potential group of people who understand what Hatwing is supposed to be. So yeah, we carry on for the opening credits, which the opening credits absolutely great with the floating, kind of like with the deflation or just reinflation
Inflation.
of that
Yeah.
freaking with the pumpkin and all that. It's just the original, but just more HD. Like I thought that was great. We do the exact same credits as the original, introducing Jamie Lee Curtis, and then introducing Andy Matichak. I thought all that was just a great little nod to 1978 with their opening. So all that is great. And then we open up with the podcaster saying, "Damn it, we didn't get him to say a damn thing." And then and they know who will say some things, and that is the reintroduction to Laurie Strode. And they go up to her house for a little podcast interview.
Yeah, dude. And I gotta say, in the intro, I love the classic orange font, man. Even before
Yes.
that, it pops up. It's so good to see that again. Yeah, dude. They roll down. They go off the beaten path. The podcasters do to find Laurie Strode's house, and we see like she's way off the freaking random ass dirt road, and then even then she's got this gate outside. Um, to her house or establishment there, and they ring on the little intercom out there, and they're trying to talk to her, and she eventually she agrees to let them in for $3,000.
Hell yeah.
To come on in and do a little bit of an interview. So it kind of sets that up. We get introduced to Laurie. We find out that she's had several failed marriages, and she's got a daughter, a granddaughter. Past marriages, like I said, has failed. It's just her living there alone. And her relationship with her daughter has been estranged over the years. And, she was taken away when she was younger because Laurie was just freaking nuts and all kinds of stuff like that. So I thought it was a good introduction to her, kind of setting things up, really just kind of letting us know as the audience that she has been dealing with this trauma for many, many years and has kind of messed up her whole life that one night back in 78, which I think is an interesting way to take it. A little bit different from H2O.
Oh yeah, very. That you just kind of brought up my point, like a nice segue. Yeah, I was going to compare it to H2O. One of our big original slash it out episodes at the beginning is who did it better, H2O or 2018? I said 2018 did it better, and I still stand by that. That Laurie Strode, kind of like with her trauma and how they decide to exploit her trauma. I feel like it just fits better with like today's times, like, with 40 years later, like with 20 years later, I could understand that kind of trauma being exploited. But for 40 years later, with how we're all freaking paranoid nowadays, I absolutely agree with like Laurie and how she would behave like that. Plus, like you said it best, Brad, everybody reacts to trauma differently. But for me, with this Laurie Strode, I feel like it fits with this particular movie.
I think so. It's a little bit. I kind of like what they did in H2O a little bit more with her getting out of town and kind of starting a new life, but still dealing with those things, at a subsurface level. But I do enjoy this this direction as well, and I think it's really interesting. And she's a self-proclaimed basket case at this point, dude, and she doesn't care to admit it. But she's totally, she's been sheltering it up over the years. She's got, she's all into guns. She's got guns everywhere, and we'll find out more about that as time goes on. She's fortified her home. She's got gates, she's got lights, she's got freaking a gun range in her backyard, and she's got all this stuff that's been going on to prepare for the inevitable escape of Michael Myers. She's going to be ready this time. She's not messing around. She's not taking any prisoners. She's not going to be kicking ass and then letting that ass get back up to choke her out. She's going to kick ass and then put some feet down on the throat and then kick that ass more is what she's going to do now. At least that is her plan. And then, kind of immediately after that, we get the introduction to Karen, which is Laurie's daughter, and then Allison, which is Andy Matichak's character, which is the granddaughter, and then stupid ass Ray. They're at home. He's doing mousetraps. He gets peanut butter on his penis.
Oh man, I got peanut butter on my penis.
Really just pointless dialogue from him all around at this point. He's talking about getting fat and, cleaning guns and I don't know. I don't even know what it's just really
Pickup
pointless
trucks, pickup trucks with the boy and his daughter getting all pregged up and all that. Yeah, dude, the dialogue was extraordinary painful to hear about. And let me go ahead and just address that real quick with our boy freaking Kenny Powers. I understand he's a Halloween fan, but he is not needed in this franchise with Halloween. Like, come on now. Like, it kind of like makes it less scary. It's so stupid. And y'all want to criticize Rob Zombie with his freaking dialogue and all that? Like, bullshit, guys. Come on.
Well, I think he did, obviously he co-wrote both of of all these movies. He's, he's very, very much involved in that. And bringing this story to life was very much, just as much his idea as it was David Gordon Green. So I think his contributions are important. But yeah, I do agree that the comedy goes a little bit over the top and silly. Like this dialogue from Ray was not only was it bad, it was just pointless. At least in Rob Zombie's movies, we get some bad dialogue, but it goes somewhere. This whole character of Ray is just not needed at all. And it starts out right here at the beginning. Yeah, so he's pointless. And it starts here early.
Yeah, it's very pointless. And then Andy Matchek, which plays Allison, and Judy Greer plays Karen, and they get in a conversation. And freaking Allison is asking about, did you invite Grandma to dinner tonight? Because Allison is valedictorian of her class, just like, wait for it, Laurie Strode was back in 1978. So like we're kind of like already establishing that Allison is going to be like this new Laurie Strode, and that gets me very interested because we got a new character. First off, she's absolutely gorgeous to look at. Like, she's very gorgeous. I think she's very talented in acting. You all should check her movie out called Sun on Shudder. Very good movie. That like outside of Halloween, showing her how she can act and all that. So they get into it, and then we freaking get the introduction to her friends of Vicky and Vicky's boyfriend. I believe his name is Dave. Yeah, it's Dave. Because shut up, Dave, and all that. And we get that classic freaking, the three friends walking and, just give us more about what's happened in these 40 years.
And this is where they verify, just for the people, they let the people know that, Michael and Laurie are no longer brother and sister. There's a little throwaway line that comes up at that point from Dave. Wasn't that her brother? Yeah, and then Andy's like, no, yeah, that's stupid. Get out of here. That's bullshit. Which, I guess that just kind of helps the general masses understand what's going on here. And then, Allison's in school. She's getting taught to by none other than PJ Souls in the classroom, which is a nice throwback. You don't see PJ Souls, but she has a voice cameo, which is really cool. And we kind of get a nice throwback to 78 when Laurie's in the classroom. When Laurie was in the classroom, she looked out and saw Michael obviously standing by the car. But who does Allison see when she looks out? Freaking Laurie herself, dude.
Yeah, look at that, Laurie. And then they have a conversation. Laurie's trying to tell Allison to fuck college, freaking get out here, go to Mexico, just get away from evil as far away as possible. And I was like, Grandma, listen to me. Why can't you move on and be with the family and enjoy your family now? Why are you still stuck up on this freaking Michael Myers guy that has been locked away for all this time? He ain't coming to get you no more, so get your shit together and come on, lady.
Yeah, dude, there was a nice moment when she said, if the way I raised your mother means that she hates me, but she's prepared for the inevitable, then I'm okay with that or whatever. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Great line.
That was neat. Yeah, and then Laurie goes back. She shoots some guns. She's doing some target practice there. She's kicking ass. She's obviously a freaking marksman at this point. And I like that. And then she shows up. It kind of turns nighttime. And then Michael's getting transferred now. Like, they're getting him all put on the bus and shit to go to another facility as per the usual at this point. Happens every time, always, the night before Halloween too. But they're about to stick him on the bus. Laurie's going. She actually shows up to Smith's Grove. She's been hammered. She's pounded some airplane bottles in the car. She's got a revolver there. She's going to blow Michael away. At least that's her, her plan. But she doesn't ultimately do it at that point.
Yeah, and I love that one shot with like that where she's screaming in the car, and you see that shadowy figure coming at her. I really love that shot because that's like a representation of the shape like coming after her, and I just want to point that out real quick.
And there's actually before that when it's still daytime and she's cleaning her guns and shit in the kitchen. There's actually a really good deleted scene of her where it's the exact same shot. She's there cleaning her guns and stuff. At one point, I think she even turns it on herself. It's like super dark, but there in the background, Michael's in the closet there. Which they took it out because I mean, obviously Michael's not literally in the closet, but he is there in the shot because in her life, Michael's always there. He's always in the back of her mind, and he could be around any corner at any time for as far as she's concerned. I thought that was actually a pretty good effective scene. They did cut it out, but the one that you just mentioned there, when she's sitting in the car and the shape is approaching her, kind of makes up for it. Like again, literally, he's not actually walking towards her car, but it's just kind of what's going on.
All in her psyche and all that. And then we freaking go to Applebee's, which I'm joking. I'm not sure if they went to Applebee's. Brother Fluff, that's not a mark on you. But yeah, we go to this restaurant now where they're celebrating Allison or valedictorian and all that, and we get our second introduction to freaking Cameron. Freaking Cameron, dude.
Yeah, dude, and of course they make him Lonnie's son. I thought that idea and this comes out at dinner. Cameron, which we introduced to him earlier at the school, but now they're at dinner and we find out that it's Lonnie's son from the original movie, which I thought was just pure fan service for the sake of being there. But whatever,
trust
it is
me,
what it
dude.
is.
There's a lot of fan service in this movie.
Yeah, we just have this moment here to find out a little bit more about these characters, and Lori does show up eventually.
Yeah, she shows up, and then she's all freaking drunk. She's all fucking drunken up there. She needs more alcohol, and what does she do immediately? Grabs Ray's alcohol, freaking wine, and just guzzles it down. Trying to behave, but then she has a total meltdown, and then she actually there's a shot where she walking towards the highway, and you thought she was going to step out in front. I think right before she was able to do that, Allison stops her and comforts her. I thought that was a really good scene. And then we get the whole explanation of Karen telling Allison, well, I tried to tell you so, but it all started back when I was young. She taught me how to shoot guns, fight, and all that. And Child Protection Services got me just because my mother wasn't stable to take care of me anymore. I liked all that, but the problem I had with it is that Judy Greer delivers this with such a robotic tone. There was no emotion behind it at all, and it frustrates me. It's not her fault. It was more directing.
It was laughably bad. It was dreadful acting in general, I thought, but whatever. It's one of those things. I'm surprised it made it into the movie that way, but it did nonetheless. But either way, around that same time, we find the dancing kid and his dad are driving out to go hunting early in the morning. The kid's not about it. He just wants to dance. And then they find, this scene was awesome. They're just driving down this desolate road. It's nice and atmospheric and foggy and just really scary looking out there. And they just run into this crashed bus. And I love this idea because last we saw Michael, he was getting on said bus, and now we go into the aftermath, and we don't know how it happened. We don't see what happened, and I love that about it. Is we pull up on this chaos, and we know Michael's probably out at this point. We just don't know where. All these other people are running around that were patients before at Smith's Grove. They're just kind of wandering around the road, and it's just a really good moment of tension in the movie where there's really not even any music playing, I don't think, where the dad gets out and he's trying to look around. The dad kind of just disappears. And now the kid's like, you know what? I got to get out. And we kind of follow him around. There's freaking bodies everywhere. There's that one cop that tells him to run. That was really intense. Again, this whole scene here is just drenched in atmosphere. And then he walks up to the bus. He's got the rifle because they're going hunting. The kid does. And he walks up in the damn bus and blows Sartain away, dude. He gets up. He said, don't shoot. And what does he do? He shoots, dude, immediately. He just freaking pulls the trigger on his ass and knocks him down. And then he's like, fuck it. I don't care if you're alive anymore. I'm out of here. He takes off and goes back to the car. And dude, Michael kills his ass. Michael's in the backseat of the car and Michael freaking snaps his neck, which was the first time we see him kill a kid.
Oh, yeah, dude. And you know what? He freaking deserves to get killed just because he wants to choose dancing over hunting. What the fuck is that all about, kid? But no, that's a joke. But no, I thought all that was great tensing and all that. It's just I just now thought this. That's like a freaking nod to again all these nods that for this movie is about to bring up. A nod of like how Michael kills Annie in the original backseat of the car, freaking choking him out and all that. even though he uses the knife. But he didn't use the knife on the kid because it's a kid. He's brittle, freaking all broken up there. He can no longer dance. So it was a very good scene. And yeah, freaking plot takes away from there, my friend.
Yeah, dude. I just love that whole build up there. Like when the kid's walking around out there, you can hear you can hear the wind blowing, you can hear the freaking crickets in the air and stuff like that. And it's really effective, I think. It's really good. Blows away Sardine. Then we get introduced to Deputy Hawkins, aka Will Patton, coming in. He's playing pinball at the local establishment that has pinball machines. He's having a good time and trying to beat some high scores and stuff. And he gets the call for the wreck. He tears ass down the road. He's the only one that goes out there. And, yeah, dude, he kind of comes on the same chaos that the kid did. There's bodies everywhere. This is a creepy one when he walks up towards the side of the bus and that dude's got that freaking neck contortion going on. It looked like Michael ripped his head out completely, but just left the skin intact and it's just kind of holding his head there. That was a good freaking, I would say kill, but I guess a good find right there. That was creepy.
Oh yeah, dude, that was a great find. And then Deputy Hawkins finds Sartang, and he's like, "Help me! I've been shot," and all that.
Did
and
he
then,
escape?
yeah, like that. And then he's like, "Who, son?" And then that's when we get like a cut in the next morning, and Lori, actually, no, not quite yet. We get the podcasters again, freaking, getting some gas, and the girl needs to take a lube, or the number 2, that is. And then we get possibly one of the absolute best scenes in the entire movie, that bathroom scene.
This whole thing at the gas station, a fueling station in flames. This whole scene here is really good. I think there's some nice subtle scenes. Of course, before this, they go to see to the cemetery and they see Judas graves, which is a cool callback. But this whole scene at the fueling station, so to speak, is great because there's some nice subtle moments, just kind of showing you that Michael's there without really hitting you over the head with it. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but it's like you kind of see him pull up in the car next to them. In the background and get out. And it's all just kind of classic Michael stuff of him just being there in the background, but not actually, doing anything yet. At one point when Dana's talking to the dude asking where the bathroom is, you can see Michael in the back hammering away at some guy. I thought that stuff was good, which builds up to this awesome point where Dana's in the bathroom on the shitter and Michael walks in. You just see his feet. At this point, he doesn't have his mask on. So at this point, they're being very diligent to show just his feet and, things like that. And he's walking up and checking the stalls out, gets to her stall. And this bathroom is kind of creepy on its own. But now you have this dude in here and he's trying to get into your stall. And then he reaches up and pours the freaking teeth out over the over the top of the door. It's just freaking teeth, bloody teeth. And then we kind of cut back to Aaron, where he's going to the front desk and he sees that, well, he doesn't really see the dude's missing the teeth, but he sees that dude's laying there and he is missing teeth, in fact, with his freaking jaw ripped all the way open. And it kind of goes back and forth to let us know that shit's about to happen.
Yeah, and then shit actually does happen in the bathroom, no pun intended. And then freaking Michael just goes all kinds of hell, trying to get to her and like in the bathroom situation. And then and then the actress, what was funny, as she was crawling, she hits her head in the damn toilet. I'm kind of glad they kept it in there because I thought that was kind of funny. But even though it's not a funny thing at all, and that's when Aaron walks in and he goes, "Michael." And then he tries to save the day and all that. Instead, he gets his freaking ass beat with his head just getting violently slammed against kind of like the stall and the wall. Like freaking literally he was going to put it past the wall, through the wall, and all that.
Not seeing the wall.
Aaron gets got, and then that's when Michael picks up the girl and just does a classic like choke and snaps her neck, and all that. And then we get him going to the car, grabbing his damn mask. And what makes all this work is the score from our boy John Carpenter. Slow, like, build up, like, down, oh, like, all that. And then once he puts his mask on, we get just the breathing. Again, dude, that sent chills down my damn spine. And as a Halloween fan, so much a big smile on my face.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And going back to the scene in the bathroom, too, the score there was really effective when Michael was tearing shit up. I thought that was a really good piece of music. Really intense, really just brought up the intensity of that whole segment, which this was really our first time seeing Michael, like, actually tearing shit up. We saw him briefly the night before, but this was our introduction to Michael and his quest rather to tear some shit up. And it was brutal as a mofo. This is when we saw, I remember sitting in the audience in the theater the first time I saw this and just being like, damn, man, this dude means business. Like, this is not the same old Michael. We're not playing around anymore. This guy's tearing shit up. And I actually found the scene to actually be somewhat scary for how intense it was. And that's, you don't see that a lot in these movies. So I thought that was good. And the score is a big part of that. And like you said, when he comes out and gets his mask, that was pretty epic. I will say, I don't know how. First off, Dana was absolutely zero help to Aaron. Aaron came in. Aaron came in to help. He tries to go one-on-one with the great one, aka Michael. Gets his ass beat. And Dana just stays in the damn freaking stall the whole time. She wants no part of it. She's like, you know what? Fuck it. You just, you take care of that. When you're done, let me know and we'll go. But obviously, Aaron never got done with that. He got his ass beat and then he killed her. But I think if she would have helped, they would have had a better chance. Second off, I don't know how Michael got away with this shit. That place was crowded as a mofo whenever they pulled in. There were vans everywhere, people fueling up, and he just went in there and murked a couple people in the bathroom and then walked out and stole their mask. So whatever. I mean, it is what it is. It was a badass scene, and yeah, when he puts that mask on, it was epic. That's the definition of epic.
Oh, dude, absolutely. So, then we get Lori, just having one of her shakes. And she sees the news on TV, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I've been waiting for this night, man. It's go time!" And she freaking packs up all of her guns, her freaking knife, and all that, and just drives right over to freaking Haddonfield, and then just visits Karen and just make sure her security system in her house is in place, which absolutely it was not. And Lori bitches at Karen some more about it, and Karen's like, "You get out of here, you crazy mother. Like, I don't want no part of this. It's all about sunshines and rainbows. And oh, by the way, look at my Christmas sweater. Don't you like it?" I know, dude. Man. And then and Ray's like, I gotta protect this. I'm the man here. I gotta protect this house and all that. And just Ray being pointless. And then we get to a cool ass Halloween party with Allison and Cameron having boyfriend girlfriend issues and all that, setting up to Halloween night.
Yeah, and earlier in the day too, Sheriff Barker and Hawkins were talking together. They were like,
"Oh, get me started on Sheriff Barker now. Freaking Tyler O'Neill, Make-A-Wish."
He's also freaking kind of a waste of character. But this is our introduction to Sheriff Barker. This is still a daytime when they're talking. They're talking about the bus crash. Hawkins brings up the point that Michael also escaped. Brings us back to 40 years ago, the babysitter murders. Oh, I was there that night. You know that. And I actually think at this point, Hawkins is kind of actually taking over that Loomis role a little bit as the kind of dude that's actually kind of talking Michael up a little bit, saying, "Oh, we can't let him. We got to be on freaking high alert tonight. This guy's out and about, and he must be stopped or whatever." Like really, just kind of talking him up. And I think he does more of that in Kills too. And I think he'll continue to be that character for us, which is cool. But yeah, man. Nighttime falls. They go to the Halloween party. We see Julian clipping his nasty ass toenails. All that stuff is going on then, dude.
Oh man, freaking Julian! I'm pretty sure at this point Julian was created just for the sole purpose of Kenny Powers. This was a Kenny Powers character, and Julian, I guess, is fine. Like, he does give us some good laughs, and like just to kind of decrease the tension at because sometimes you need a break from your movie to like get your scare and get your little just relaxing and all that. And I feel like that's what Julian is. But man, I love the Vicky character so much, and I feel like she was a wasted opportunity. But we'll get more into that for a little bit because we got to talk about possibly one of the ever iconic scenes in this movie. It's that freaking one straight shot of Michael creating chaos in that neighborhood.
Yeah, this was a really good moment. They showed this in one of the trailers, at least the beginning part of it. But it just shows the Halloween 3 kids running around, and they run into freaking Michael. Kind of a nice callback to 78. And then it just, again, pops off that Halloween theme, the classic theme, freaking full blast. And we follow Michael, nice tracking shot of him walking to the backyard, picking up a hammer, going in a house. There's one cut in there after he picks up the hammer, but the rest of it's all one take. And dude, it's awesome. It soaks in the atmosphere of Halloween. There's people everywhere trick-or-treating. Yeah, you really kind of do feel like it's Halloween night. There's people out there. We see the doctor and nurse duo from Halloween Kills there for the first time. And it's really cool. And not to mention, there's good kills. When he goes into the discount Elrod house from Halloween 2, and you see the ham and the knife over there and everything. We don't see the kill itself, but whenever we turn the corner, when we follow Michael after he goes out towards the living room and out the front door, he freaking murked her ass.
Yeah,
Murked
and
her
we
ass,
heard
I
it
should say.
too. Yeah, it's like we did see it, but we heard it too, and that's all part of the theater of the mind trick too. Just imagine what that freaking beating was like. But yeah, dude, that's not freaking grape jelly on that table.
No, dude, he freaking obliterated her, and he goes next door and kills the other girl, which I think was effective. And so, just some good looks of, you see his shadow kind of walking around the side of the house after he passes the window. You see his reflection looking into the window as he's looking in, and it's just a kind of building on to the fact that Michael has no rhyme or reason. He just does what he wants to do, and there's really no stopping him.
Oh, dude, absolutely no stopping him. And what is his next stop? Freaking Vicky's. I want to say like it's Julian's house, but Vicky was there and all that. And then freaking Dave shows up with his freaking pony named John Tate or freaking Tate. Is what he named his pony. Again, too many damn nods. That's one of my negatives. But I'll get to that more here in a little bit. But they're about to get their freaking he was going to get rock hard tonight. That's what Vicky said. They're getting down to business, and Julian's all freaking out like, "There's somebody in my closet," or like, "I saw this weird guy in a mask walking up the hall." It's like, "Relax, little buddy." Well, shut up, Dave. And then that's when Vicky goes up there, tucks in Julian again, and she wants to close the closet. And then she opens it, and that's where freaking Michael's there. All tension was great until that little bastard screams, "Oh shit," and ruins that entire tense scene for me.
Oh shit!
I really enjoyed that scene, building up to it. Obviously, they ruined it in the trailer, but that's not a detraction from this movie. That's just marketing issues. It is what it is. But it's still a very good, effective moment, I think. And I actually like the build up. I like Julian when it like I love Julian overall. I thought he was a fantastic character. Really a highlight. I hope he comes back and ends, and I really hope he comes back and ends. He was great. But yeah, I actually found it pretty creepy when he was telling them that somebody was in his room staring at him and that he could hear him breathing and stuff. Like, I know it was kind of comedic, but it was like, it also kind of gave you that theater of the mind of kind of what he was seeing in there. And Michael was literally probably just standing there staring at him, which is creepy. So that always was creepy. I like the moment after the closet and all that stuff. I think it's fine. The oh shit thing, it's funny. But it gets intense, man, right after that. And yeah, Vicky gets freaking destroyed. And yeah, it was pretty wild. As does
Yeah.
Dave.
Oh yeah. Oh freaking Dave. But yeah, as all that's going on, Lori is like kind of like has a police scanner, so she kind of like knows what's going on and where all this chaos is happening. And that's where she will go like to Julian's house and all that. And then who does she find up at the top part of the window? Freaking Michael Myers, aka. But this time, this is where we get our cameo of Nick Castle. That was the one that Lori sees at the wall and all that. And she just starts shooting first, not asking any questions. Fuck questions at this point. And then that's where she, Will Patton, Deputy Hawkins gets there too. And then he and Lori are trying to hunt him down. They freaking run into each other. Apparently they had a flame, but we get more into that next week on Halloween Kills. And then freaking we get Sartain back saying Laurie Strode, and Laurie going, "You must be the new Loomis," and all that. And then after that, we get to the Allison scene.
Yeah, and Hawkins was in the house whenever Michael was in there too, which I thought was kind of tense. When he's walking through the house, clearing it, and he finds Vicky under the sheet and stuff like that. And then Laurie sees Michael in the window next door. But this is when we find out Hawkins is a dreadful shot. For the first time. We find it out many, many times after that too. But yeah, so that happens. But yeah, shooting ahead, they all kind of get out of there. We go to the Allison scene. They were at the party, this Halloween party or whatever, like a dance or whatever with the school. Cameron was there. He was kind of like an abusive prick there. I would say he throws her phone in the guacamole or the cheese dip or whatever the hell it was after he's kissing another girl. Just a complete dick. And so Allison leaves the party with Oscar, their other friend, and yeah, man, Oscar tries to make some moves, man. He was getting guacked up in all these sexy ways from the people at the party.
Oh yeah, getting all these kind of ways, and then he gets freaking left by Allison, and then this is pretty much one to me like the most like scary scene for me. It's those freaking light systems going on and off like motion based, and that's where we see freaking Meyer like in the shadows, and then every time the light comes off and then goes back on, Michael's getting closer and closer to Oscar, and then he just freaking annihilates Oscar, and then Allison hears all the commotion and decides to come back, and this is where we get the Allison's introduction to witnessing the shape, the icon himself of Michael Myers, with one of the most fantastic scores in the entire Halloween franchise. And I feel like the only way they could have made that scene better is when Allison is running in that dark street. Michael was like coming right behind her, like chasing her down. That's the only way that scene could have been epic.
Oh yeah, it could have been longer too, man. I could have gone for a longer
Mhm.
scene right there. And the kill for Oscar was epic, dude. He freaking chopped his ass on the gate and he fell and the gate went through his face, which is hence the gate kill earlier. But yeah, that
Mhm.
was really good. But yeah, the way Michael popped up behind Oscar when she sees him, man, that was really effective. But yeah, I totally agree, man. It would have been sweet to have her chasing or her getting chased by his ass with that music playing, a little bit of a longer scene with that music playing more
Yeah.
would have been great.
Oh, they would have been absolutely great. And then this is where we get more kind of chaos of Lori going back to Karen and say, "Hey, you got to come with me to my house for protection. We're trying to gather everybody in one place. Like we're trying to hunt down Allison, which Allison gets hunted down by, or eventually comes together with Deputy Hawkins and Sartang. And as they're coming along, that's when they run into Michael, like legit run into Michael. Um, and then they ran his ass down, and Hawkins is like, "We got to end this evil right now." And Sartain's like, "No, I need to study my patient." And then that's where he freaking just surprises everybody and stabs freaking Hawkins right in the freaking neck. And then freaking puts the mask on, which looks absolutely fucking ridiculous.
That was so silly, dude. I've come actually. I wouldn't say I would. The movie needed it by any means, but I've accepted that twist at this point. It's really still kind of silly, but
Mhm.
Sardine was messed up in the head, and this just kind of goes to show that it gets Laurie and Michael together at the end of the day. I there's better ways he could have done it for sure. I think he could have had Laurie stalking Michael, and kind of twist that around a little bit. But whatever, they did what they had to do to get Michael to Laurie. Um,
Mhm.
Whatever. It was a weird scene. We did our best to recreate it in the opening here. But yeah, nonetheless, Michael does. Sardine drives them to basically to Laurie's house. He gets all the way up to the front freaking, driveway essentially. And then Michael gets out, smashes Sardine in the face, freaking H2 style, Rob
Say
Zombie
something.
callback. Yeah, say something, Michael. And he freaking smashes his face. He doesn't care that Sardine helped his ass out. Not at all.
Mhm.
Allison gets out at that point too because Michael broke out, and then she runs off into the woods. That's kind of cool and atmospheric. She runs into the mannequin section, and she's seeing Michael everywhere, and I thought that was kind of cool. The two cops sitting outside Laurie's house get murked. They had a nice little scene of dialogue, I guess, where they're talking about brownies and shit. That went on for a little while, but it was funny, I guess. But yeah, we see them kind of approach Hawkins's car, and then it kind of cuts away from that back to Laurie, who's inside with getting everything set up with Ray and
Yeah, and Ray
Karen.
decides to go outside, like after seeing the police car, and that's when he discovers, the head of the lantern, and then the other kill
And
too. And then that's when
what the fuck was the
Michael
point of the
comes.
gate? The gate served no purpose, dude. Like
Oh,
the front,
well,
the car just
yeah,
cranked his way in.
who let the officers in? Like, did Ray do that? But like, I I don't, dude. That's a great point. I like, how did those officers get in? Because like someone had to press the button.
I know they came rolling right in there. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead. The pumpkin and all that in the car.
Yeah, and all that, and then that's when Michael comes in with a chain and freaking snaps Ray's neck. Which, thank you, Michael, for doing the devil's work on that one. And then Laurie's like, "Well, shit, he's gone and he's here." So then we get the whole thing at the door where Michael tries to break down for the door, grabs Laurie, and I thought Laurie was a goner at this point, but luckily she got her shotgun up and bam, blows freaking Michael's hand up to smithereens. And doing that effect, great job by the practical effect team on that one.
Oh yeah, it was freaking awesome, man. Lori was getting choked out, and then blew his fingers, and blood goes everywhere. It's really cool. Sets up the finale. Lori and Karen go down into the basement where she's got this like freaking hidden room built up with this little movable island or whatever that covers it. Really cool scene there. I think we're about to see this final duel here between the two of them. Lori shoots through the floor, tries to hit Michael. We don't know if she does or not. We just hear a thud, and then she goes back up to investigate. He's not up there. There's blood trails throughout the house. Somehow, this is cool. When Lori's going through the house with her freaking rifle or whatever, she's got these gates on every freaking door in the house for every room. So she goes in, she kind of clears the room. She shuts the gate to, isolate it, make sure nobody gets in now that she's cleared it. I thought that was kind of cool. And really just her kind of creeping around this dark house was kind of cool in a way. And, she's following the blood trail that Michael left. She goes up into a bedroom up there, which is an exact replica of the original 1978 Lori bedroom that we saw. Not her actual bedroom, but the one from the Doyle house at the end, because they had built it to recreate the ending, but they didn't use it. But either way, that was cool. She's in there. There's a bunch of mannequins and shit in there. And again, she sees the closet. She thinks back in her head. She's like, man, I once hid in the closet. Now there's a bloody handprint on there. Now Michael's hiding in the closet. I'm going to go kill his ass. She goes in there, opens that door, and just raise asses up there. I don't know when he pulled him in the house and put him up there, but it happened nonetheless. And I don't know how the shelf didn't break. I don't think they're designed to hold human beings, but beside the point. It doesn't matter. Michael pops out for some mannequins. They duke it out a little bit. Lori gets stabbed in the freaking abdomen and then gets chucked out the window, dude. Chucked right out the window.
Gets chucked out the window, and that's when Allison comes in the house, which that's another question, too. How did Allison not see, like a body fly as she's coming in the house? I don't know. But anyway, she comes in the house and saying, grandmother? I don't know why. Like, it's like, hey, grandmother, why not grandma or Lori or anything? No, grandmother. And Michael's like, turns around real quick, and then he turns back. Lori's gone. Just again, another like tip to the hat of the ending of 78 and all that. And then that's when Michael comes down the stairs. He knows about the island, rips off the island. And then this is where Karen's all freaking out with the gun. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And then when Michael appears, that's where we get like almost a saving moment for the Karen character going, gotcha. And just freaking shoots off that gun. I thought that was really damn good. Just at least to save the Karen character, at least for the next movie. But boy, I was wrong on that.
She misses the barn entirely. No, she hits him in the face, but not in the head. It could have been a kill shot, but she just murked, whatever. But it was good. Yeah, I really like that. That was a good moment for her. Best moment of the two movies, for sure. And then this is kind of silly. I like the one where Lori gets thrown off the roof and then he looks over and she's gone. I like that. This one gets a little silly when they freaking illuminate Lori, who's hiding in the closet now. And she goes, "Happy Halloween, Michael." It's like they turn on the light in there and she just appeared. It wasn't like a subtle thing like it was in it's supposed to be a callback where Michael subtly comes out from behind her in the closet in the first movie. But there's nothing subtle about this one. It's like she had a flashlight, like your boy from Halloween 6. He turns it on. He said, "Happy Halloween, Michael." Yeah. So they fight it out some more. Lori hits his ass in the face with a frying pan. She ends up knocking him down into the pit. Now Karen and Allison have to climb out, and they do. Michael scares him for a second, grabs one of them by the ankle, but then Allison slices that hand right up, and he lets go. And then they close the freaking trap door. It's a trap the whole time. We didn't know it, but we know it now. They freaking closed the door, trapped him down in the basement, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, all that is great. And then Lori just gets one of these like fancy lighters, throws it down in there, and then the whole freaking house just goes up to freaking flames, man, and all that. And Michael is just he's not cooking down there. Well, he's getting cooked, if you know what I mean. And then Lori, Allison, and Karen hitch a ride on a freaking truck, and they freaking drive away while that house is burning. And that's it, my friend. That's freaking Halloween 2018.
Yeah, and I remember being a little surprised by the ending because the trailer showed a completely different ending, or a different third act rather, with Michael and Lori duking it out, which I'm still
with
wanting
their
to see
freaking
that.
knife section.
Yeah, that looked cool, man. But nonetheless, the ending happened, the movie ended, and yeah, that capped it off. And I thought it was a good way of setting things up. Obviously, it was kind of a safe ending for them. You could play it either way. If they didn't make any money and do a sequel, they could have ended it right there. But they also left it open enough to where they could explain how Michael would get out and keep going from there. And yeah, overall, I think it was solid.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. So, very I enjoyed the movie. But before we get to our overall thoughts and the rating, you want to do the WTF and the best kill?
Yes.
All right, let's do it, man. So up first for you. What is your WTF moment?
I gotta go. It's a little bit of it's more of a moment, less of a moment, but I'm gonna go with just Ray in general. I think Ray is the most pointless thing in the whole franchise. He comes in with some atrocious dialogue early. That's our introduction. Pointless throughout. He never provides any value to any of our characters. He's just there, makes dumb jokes, and then he dies a stupid death. He doesn't even get a good kill. He just gets choked out by some chains. So I think I don't know. That's one thing you could have taken out of this movie entirely, and it wouldn't have changed a damn thing.
Hell yeah, and that's a damn good one. And what is your best kill?
I'm going to go with Aaron, the podcaster in the bathroom. I thought that was brutal as fuck. The music, everything about it was really good, intense and scary even. And even though Michael didn't have his mask on, it was just for me, it was effective. It was the most effective kill I've seen in a long time.
Hell yeah, man. Freaking great choices. You kind of got my freaking Ray one. I was going to go with the whole, I got peanut butter over my penis. But another one, kind of like we alluded to earlier, is the freaking officers, talking about their lunch with the freaking brownie and the freaking chocolate pudding and all that. And I thought that was that is just random as fuck. So I'll go with that one for my WTF. Best kill, I got different. I am going with freaking Oscar's kill. Freaking, just getting stabbed through the gate, gate spikes and all that, the right up here, and then freaking getting stabbed in the back with a freaking knife, man. That's a freaking brutal way to go after someone having a freaking party with the guacamole and all these sexy ways. He's getting killed in all those sexy ways.
And the build up to that kill, I would include in that as a part of that is, some of the best in the movie.
Yeah, it legit scared me at the theater when I watched it. So Brad, what are your overall thoughts and the movie rating?
This movie, when it came out, had really high expectations. I would say I had high expectations for it. I remember I was definitely very much anticipating the heck out of this movie for years. This movie is actually really how I got into YouTube to begin with, because with this movie, I was looking, on YouTube for things about it, and that's where I found Dave and McRae, and was watching his stuff all the time because it was like every week something new was coming out, and I was following him, and then that led me to other channels, and that's really kind of what got me started in that whole family of channels there. And man, I remember it being such a big event as a huge Halloween fan, almost up there with Star Wars when Force Awakens came out. And because I actually like Halloween than I do any of the Star Wars flicks. So for me, it was pretty much that same level of anticipation. Because I was so excited to see how they were going to cap it off and do an original sequel to the first movie. And it came out, and I wasn't disappointed with it. I think they could have done some things better, but I watched this movie multiple times in theaters, and I loved it, and I had a good time with it. And I think it was, for what it is, it was a great return to the franchise and set the stage up pretty well. That being said, they could have done things better. I'd give it a 4.
All right, 4 is a damn good score, and I'm like with you. Kind of like you told me about I was like, there's this guy's named Dave, and he's doing all these amazing content about the new Halloween series coming up and all that. And that's where I felt so thank Brad for Dave. And that's pretty much how our whole YouTube thing kind of started and all that. So we appreciate Dave McRae almost in the fact kind of putting us together with all this talk of YouTubing. And then, but the movie itself, definitely a top 5 movie theater experience for me. This was my first Halloween movie going to the theater for, and I could not be any more lucky to get a great movie to go to a Halloween movie in the theater for. I had such a good time. I love the inclusion of Allison as a character. I feel like she can do much. That's what I thought at the time. And then just great kills, great atmosphere. Just really understand. These guys understand Halloween more than other people in the past have understand Halloween since the original. So I really enjoyed this movie, but just where it gets me is some pointless characters. It's just way too many nods in the entire Halloween franchise. That to me could get distracting in this movie. So it's not perfect, but it's really damn good since the original. So I am going to give it a 4.25 out of 5.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that is a very extremely high freaking Dance with Jimbo.
Hell yes, man. Great times, man. Looking forward to
Great,
next
dude.
week.
Great times. And yeah, dude, next week we have one more to go before Halloween ends, and that is for our Halloween Kills. That might be one of our longest reviews yet because we have a lot to say about that movie, but that is next week, and I want to hear from you guys right now. What did you all think about Halloween 2018? Do you think this is a great freaking inclusion into the Halloween franchise and just to start a whole nother time loop? Do you like all that? Or do you disagree with all that and you think this movie is a pile of shit? Let us know in that comment section down below and let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Twitter, and TikTok. Of course, Patreon. Those links are for you to find down below.
Absolutely, and be sure to check out all of our buddies from the HalloScream Review Series, the other YouTubers that are releasing their Halloween 2018 videos coming out today or at some point this week. And of course, if you enjoy us and what we're bringing to it for Good Real Hunting, be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe because we're on that quest to hitting 1K before the end of October. And of course, ring that bell, ding, 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 so you all know what the next set of Halloween reviews and content is up and ready.
Right you are.
All right, so
Wear
we're
Christmas
freaking
sweaters.
getting out here, and then fuck, I got peanut butter over my penis. I'm just messing. See you guys. Yeah, I know.